Hey guys, Brie Marie here. Who would have thought that my channel would be an addiction awareness channel? Because really I talk about God and the Bible and all that, but I'm noticing that all my videos seem to be about addiction, whether it's porn addiction, alcohol addiction, social media addiction, and that's what we're getting into today because I'm noticing that I have a social media addiction. And I know that it's not just me. I know that it's everyone. And we have we have been put in a trial in a sense we've basically been put in a trial like rats where something gets put on a generation or the human population and we see what happens to them as time goes on. And I didn't have this addiction in the beginning. I just thought, oh, cool, social media. We've got Bebo, Xanga, Facebook. By the way, I'm 28, y'all. So my first time ever having a social media account was Bebo. I might have been like 6th grade. And then I went to Xanga, which was also 6th grade. And then it went to MySpace, which might have been around like 7th, 8th grade. And then 9th grade was Facebook. And then Facebook lasted until about my 10th, 11th grade year. And that's when Instagram came out. But I had a Galaxy at the time, and Instagram was only available to iPhones. I remember being so upset because I was normally the one who always had things first. And so I was just really upset that iPhones got it and I didn't. And I was like, okay, well, I'm getting an iPhone because I want Instagram. So I ended up getting an iPhone, getting Instagram. So that was around 2011, but didn't really like use it too much. Then Snapchat came out. I was really into Snapchat, really loved just sending messages and pictures back and forth. But then Instagram rolled out with something that was like Snapchat. I hated it in the beginning. And then I loved it. And I was like, okay, well, I'm getting used to it. My mind just started to wire to the social media and just started to love all of it. And I got addicted. I didn't see the addiction until about this year of 2022, actually. But looking back, I see that I was getting addicted at that time because I had one account and that account reached up to about 17,000 followers. And what I was doing was I was hashtagging all the time. I was liking people's photos. I was trying to do it all organically. I didn't want to buy the followers. I didn't want to buy the likes or anything like that. But I knew that I wanted the followers. So I was like, okay, I need to like every day. Sometimes I would spend like right when I'd wake up in the morning, I would just go and like hashtags for an hour and then get a bunch of people to follow me. That's when I knew like something was wrong, is I'm trying to get people to follow me instead of it just being organic. So that was starting to get really weird, but I was doing videos every single day, and then it got to a point where I was just like so annoyed making the videos every day. Jesus revealed himself to me and was like, you need to delete this account because it was founded on the enemy. So I ended up deleting the account and making a new account, and it was all just on Jesus. And I was doing poetry, and then it got into porn addiction because I had a really bad pornography addiction, and I wanted people to know that they're not alone. So that's when I started making videos helping people get out of the destructive patterns of pornography and going back all the time. And that was such a beautiful journey because now I'm out of pornography. That's not even something that comes to my mind anymore. It took a really long time. I was addicted for 17 years. And now I'm noticing the effects of social media where it's reminding me of my previous addiction to pornography, where I'll get on social media just to get on and scroll or like find something to feed my mind and give me that dopamine hit. And then I get off And I'm like, okay, well, what do I do in this time period? And that kind of reminded me of when I had my pornography addiction, where I would get on to get that dopamine hit, and then I'd get off, and then no pun intended, I would get off of the site, and then I'd be wondering what to fill that space with, and it would be social media. I would just get back on social media. But here I am now, and I'm noticing the addiction heavily. And I've deleted it about 10 times this week. I'll download it just to like maybe see who followed or see who liked, or like just see what my friends are up to, because nobody's out here anymore. Nobody seems to be just in this world anymore. Nobody has these hobbies in the world anymore. And we're all just online looking at a screen. And I really just know that this is about to be really, really bad and really demonic, and it's going to take over our minds and our brains, and it already is. And I just want everyone to be very cautious about what's about to go down, because I'm noticing the effects to the point where I was depressed, and in my head there was thoughts of suicide. Not that I wanted to kill myself. No. That's not what it was. It's just there were these thoughts that were coming in of, would people even notice if I was gone? Like, nobody's out here anymore. I don't think anybody would notice unless I was online and like sharing about it, or like nobody would notice. And I know people would notice if I was gone. It's just my thought patterns were so addicted to social media that I thought I had to be on social media all the time for people to know that I was even there. Yeah, that's how my mind has been wired. And I'm actually like, I've deleted it since, because like I was basically just like bawling my eyes out every day of, I was just crying, because I just felt like, what are we doing? We're just constantly looking at information on information on information. And then the next day we go to the next information topic and we don't really do anything with it. Like, what are we doing on there? Like for me, for instance, it was to be in the know about what's going on in the world. I want to know, I want to be informed. I follow people who follow things that I don't, so I can be informed on what they're being informed about. And when I get on and I see what they're being informed about, now I know. Now I know what's going on in the world. It's never been this comparison thing. Like, I know some people go through that where they get on and they want other people's lives and they're comparing themselves to other people. And maybe in the beginning of social media, I would do that with like fitness accounts and all that. And I just unfollowed all those because I was like, I'm not trying to compare myself or anything. But now I'm noticing I get on just to get the next piece of information, the next like level of understanding of what's going on in the world. I just want to know. But how much can we know before it starts taking over our brain? Because I don't think our brain was supposed to be able to access and understand all of this information and take in all this information at the speed that we are. It's getting really detrimental. Because I don't think people are actually living here anymore. They're just living in this world of social media and let me keep up with people and let me keep up with the information and what's going on in the world and what's the next thing to know and how do I get viral and how do I do this, and like they're reaching for something. I'm reaching for something. It's not just there, it's me, it's all of us, guys. We're reaching for something. And we're never gonna get there. It's always gonna be the next thing. Like I said, it's reminding me of the pornography addiction, because I would go for, like, whenever I watched porn in the beginning, it was, well, we'll just watch this. Well, that's not doing it anymore, so I'm gonna watch this. Well, that's not doing it, so let me go deeper and darker and more twisted and more demonic and more crazy and more incest and pedophilia and all that type of stuff that's not okay for the brain. It's not okay for humans. It's not okay at all. But that's what social media and the internet is doing to our minds, is making us think that all of this stuff is okay. It's not okay. And people begin to take the offline world and put it in their real world, and they don't know what's real from what's not anymore. So with pornography, people tend to take these acts and do it offline because they think that that's what people want. But it's not. That's not sex. That's not true. Like, it's not. It is a false reality of what God really wanted with sex with one person. Not just one person, your husband or your wife. And I feel like I have so much to say about this, but it's just a false reality. And here we are, social media, and I'm trying to like pull myself out of this because I'm still in the social media world while not being in it. My mind is still wired to know what's going on in the social media world. And that's why I'm doing this video now, so I don't lose track of this mindset. I want to see where I'm at in the future because my husband and I have completely deleted it off of our phones. We've blocked it. The only thing that we have is YouTube, and we don't really ever get on there unless it's to like learn how to do things outside, like building a fire or building a fort or growing food outside. Like, that's the stuff we use YouTube for, or for me to come on here, or both of us to come on here and just share things that we're learning about in the Bible or things like that. But something that I'm noticing with social media is we place ourselves in the social media world where we think it's real. So then we come out into the real world and we can't really even be here anymore because now we're thinking, oh, let me post that. Let me snap that. Let me Instagram that. Oh, that's funny. Oh, I need to share that. Oh, I can't even be present anymore because I'm looking at what I can feed my followers, what I can give to everybody else. I can't even be in the present moment with my kids anymore because I'm doing something online. I need to share this story. Babe, hold on. I've got to do this. And guys, I don't have kids. I'm just trying to put myself in the reality of multiple people because this is what's going on. We're not paying attention to the real world anymore. And we're getting sucked into this social media addiction that's just taking over. And now we have a metaverse coming and digital currency that like maybe a credit score that we're going to need to like live by on these things, on these devices. And I was actually, I've seen this documentary plenty of times before, the Social Dilemma, which actually talks about how like social media advertising, like how they're trying to advertise to you and keep you on the app, and they're not really making it so it's less addictive. They want you to be on their app as much as possible. Yeah, they're just not making it less addictive. I just know that this is a really big concern that needs to be taken care of. So yeah, as I was watching The Social Dilemma, there was this quote that said there's only two things in the world that call their customers users, and that's illegal drugs and software. Because here we are being users, like whether it's a user on a platform, social media, Twitter, it's all a user. It's a username. What's your username? Are you a user of Instagram, a user of Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram? And what else are users? Drugs. And there's a Instagram account or just an internet, a web page called Fight the New Drug. And that's actually about pornography. But I'm starting to see an absolutely new drug, and it's social media. Not new drug. This drug has been around, and now we're just seeing the symptoms of this drug and what it's doing to us, the effects. And the effects are withdrawal, comparison, suicidal thoughts, not being able to do anything unless you post about it, not being able to function in the real world. I had a friend literally say, I feel like I'm not worthy unless I'm like online. And I felt the same way. Like, there have been things inside my head that have gone on where I'm like, okay, I text my friends and they don't text back. And I said in one of my videos, like, I don't care if people don't text back, because I don't even text people back. I don't get back to people immediately. We shouldn't have to be at people's beck and call. But if I'm online and I can keep up with you online, but I can't keep up with you in the real world and try to just have a conversation with you, there's something wrong with that. There is something wrong with always connecting with our followers that we don't even know and not being able to connect with our friends. It's backwards. There's something wrong with it. We think these people online are our family because maybe they're making us money or something like that. And that's our business. And we need to advertise to them. And we need to keep giving to them to nurture them so we can build a product and have them buy. It just seems so inauthentic and so not transparent. And that's not where I want to be. And most of my followers, maybe not my YouTube followers, but people on my followers on Instagram knew that I was creating a marriage prep academy course. And I was actually like, the Lord had put on my heart to help people with marriage, and not inside of marriage, but before marriage. Like, if you want a marriage that glorifies God, you first need to have a single season and get rid of things. You need to unfollow people. You need to stop talking to certain people who are not marriage material. So I wanted to help people with this, and I made a whole course. And it's done. It's finished. But I didn't want to sell to my social media account for some reason, because I knew that I would be on it more and more every day, trying to nurture and give to these people who I don't know, which I'm grateful and want to give to my social media following what the Lord has given me through this course. But I didn't want to have to keep up with social media because I know that it's so addicting. So yeah, I'm going through a lot of thoughts right now. And there have been moments where I'm off social media and I'll just bawl my eyes out to my husband because I'm like, I'm just bored. I don't know what to do with my life. I sit there and I'm just like trying to get through the day. And I'm trying to get through the day because I'm having withdrawals from social media. That's not okay to have withdrawals from something that you weren't supposed to be addicted to in the first place. So I am wondering how these companies are actually trying to make this less addictive, but they're not. We're going to be sucked in here. We're going to be trapped in here like Wall-E. You're going to see something in front of you where it's maybe tennis or golf, but you're going to be doing it on this instead of doing it out here where you can actually be doing it instead of doing it online for your followers to make money, to get gems, to get points, to get more followers, to get more likes, to get more subscribers, whatever it is. You're going to be doing it for people instead of just doing it because you want to. And something that I'm noticing as I'm off of social media is I love poetry, I love drawing, I love learning new languages. And yet I've never really become a master of any of them, even though I've loved doing them my whole life. And here I am now out of social media, other than making these videos for YouTube, and yet I don't even know how many videos I'm going to make. I like making videos whenever like a topic comes to my mind. As you can see, I'm not as consistent on here all the time, but I'm writing poetry, and in my head, I'm just like, okay, well, am I going to share this? Like, what's the point of writing any of this if I'm not going to share it with the world? What's the point of drawing anything if I'm not going to share it? There have been moments where I'm like, well, I should make an Instagram account and share my drawings or share my poetry. I'm like, I need to share this with people. Why do we need to share this with everyone? Why do I feel the need to share everything? Why can't something just be with myself? But that's because our world has made it so we can share everything with the world. We want people to know what we're doing. But I don't really want people to know what I'm doing. That's the thing. But I want people to know that I'm alive. That's what it is. Like, I want people to know that I'm around and I'm here and like, hey guys, like, I see you guys over there too. Can we do something in the real world? And maybe that's just my community. Because my community, we've really grown up on this stuff, whether it's multi-level marketing, the MLMs, entrepreneurship, trying to make a business. Like, all of us are on here. And we're doing this stuff for our followers. And while I know we all have meaningful connections, I'm wondering how much of this is like authentic anymore. Like, are all of us doing this just to put on a show for other people? Yeah, I just really think that we need to be careful about this. We need to be cautious because coming soon, there's going to be people that are so addicted that they can't get off of this anymore. And I'm doing my best to get off of this, not just for me, my health, but for my children, because I do not want my children being part of something that I'm addicted to. If I can't get off of this, I can't even imagine what my children would go through if I gave them a phone at like whatever age. Kids are getting phones now. I don't even know. But there are children that are killing themselves because of comparison, bullying. I couldn't even imagine if I had a phone back when I was in elementary school. Like, yes, I did have a phone whenever I was younger, but it didn't have social media. It didn't have all this stuff that we have now that people are just comparing their lives to people. And it's really, really sad. It's really sad. Yeah, I'm really hoping that you guys can get to the place where you don't need to share everything online, on Instagram, on TikTok, even on YouTube. Like, you shouldn't feel like you need to update your people all the time. I know that some people have a business, but this is going to get to the point where you are literally trapped and you can't get out anymore. We need to start coming back to the real world and like building communities offline, because I really do see the world getting very, very dark. And I'm not sure if you guys have seen the show The Feed. It's an Amazon original TV show, but it's literally about how the social media is in your mind now, like in your eyes. You can just see it in your eyes and you no longer need a phone. And some people are offline. There are some people that are offline. I forgot what they're called. Like anonymous, basically. And they're trying to make a virus in the social media feed to let people know what's going on, because the people in the feed are so addicted, and the people that are offline are trying to help them see, yo, you need to get off of this thing because they are going to kill you. They're going to kill you and you're going to be so sucked in. And there are some people who have been online for so long in the feed, the show, that when they get offline, they have seizures and don't know how to act or be in the real world. They're literally having seizures. Or there's some people that are online who try and do something to get more followers and more money and all this stuff. And it kind of reminds me of TikTok. I don't have TikTok or anything, but they're doing a bunch of things to get people to throw money at them, which just sounds weird in itself. We are the product, guys. It's kind of like a new form of human trafficking. Like, they're trafficking us online to make money for them. And just like pornography, like whatever video you click on, you're supporting human trafficking. In a sense, us on these social media platforms is us being sold to these advertising companies, us buying, but then we are the ones who are the product. Because what are we doing? We are the ones that continue to see this stuff, continue to take in their content, continue to feed them, give them money. There's so much to this that I don't even know how to put into words, but I know that it's bad. I know that it's wrong. I know that it's not how humans are supposed to operate in the world. And we need to come back to the present. Because I don't want you guys getting trapped in here. I want you guys to see that there's a world out here and we can do things offline without sharing about it. We can draw and write and sing. We don't have to share about it. We can just do it. And I'm just nervous that people aren't going to know how to just do things without sharing about it anymore. And that's where I've been at, because I've been thinking like, well, I need to share about it because everybody else is sharing about it. And it's like a comparison in a way. But I never really have felt like I'm comparing. It's more of just like, I want to be in the know and I want to be the one that tells people things that I know, which is stupid. But yeah, I just think the wiring of our brains has really changed over the years. And it's going to continue changing the more that we're online, because the online world was never meant for the human brain. We never lived like this back in the day. People were present. People sat with themselves, or they went outside and played with their friends, or just hung out and actually had conversations. Now it's getting to the point where if you're sitting with yourself, you have to be on your phone. You can't have a conversation with the people in front of you. If you're waiting to go in for an interview, for a job interview, and there's someone next to you, most likely you all are on your phone. You're not talking to each other anymore. In that space where you have nothing to do and you have to sit with yourself, we go to our phones. And this is an addiction for me still. I'm noticing it. And I'm just trying to get out of it because I don't want to be in it anymore. I don't want to feel like I'm fighting a porn addiction again. But I am. I'm fighting a social media addiction now. And so the only thing I know to do is to get off of social media completely right now. So again, my husband and I have blocked Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Telegram. We blocked all of this stuff that we used to go to. And the only thing that we know that we're like not addicted to is YouTube. Like basically the only thing we do is maybe share a video every like 8 months. Or maybe just learn some things. Like I've been learning Spanish now, which is awesome because I actually have time to do stuff instead of scroll on my feed. And as I share this video and talk to you guys about this, I'm mainly talking to myself because this is things that I've been going through. But yeah, guys, I pray that you guys get this addiction under control, Because I don't think all addictions, hold on. Yes, I do think addictions are bad. I don't think having social media is unhealthy. I just think an overconsumption of social media is very unhealthy. And if when you get rid of social media, you feel like, who am I without social media? Oh, I wonder what my friends are doing who are on social media. I wonder what they're sharing. Or I'm not worthy because I don't have social media. Or you're getting these thoughts when you're off social media where you feel like you need to be back on. That's an overconsumption, and that's an addiction. Or where you feel like you need to continue posting to keep up with your following, or where you feel like you need to do the next big thing to hit something viral. That is a social media addiction. If you delete your posts because it didn't reach a certain extent, or you're hiding your like count because it didn't reach a certain like, that's an addiction. That's a comparison. That's scary. That's something that humans should not be going through. We should just be able to live life joyfully in the real world, not needing to compare ourselves to other people's social media profiles and why they have so many followers and likes and subscribers or all that. So anyway, I just know that all of us are kind of in this experiment, and the effects of social media, I can tell, are wearing down on us now. They're starting to show. I'm seeing a lot of my friends go through this right now, and it's scary. I don't just have one or two friends going through this. I have multiple, and we're all trying to get out of it. And while we see it, we need to get out. We need to bring awareness. And I'm seeing a lot more people bring awareness to this topic. I've seen a lot of people over the last week, and it's April 15th, 2022 right now. So I've been on social media since 2007, probably, like, consistently. That would have been like 7th grade for me. And I know I was on it before, but it was mainly just like DisneyChannel.com, playing games and stuff. But then the social media world really, really, really took over. That's when I think there was something that switched in our brain. And while I don't have all the words for it, I see the effects on my life now. And I pray that if you see these effects, you start taking control of it now, and you get out of it before it's too late. Because eventually, in the future, there are going to be people that are not going to be able to function without it. And I just want to be a place. I want to be a place where people can come to me and talk to me about that. And if they need to cry or be vulnerable about what they're going through, they can. And I can just show them that they are worthy without this stuff. Because it's something that I'm going through as well. And I'm trying with the Lord to just place this at God's feet. Not make this an idol anymore, because it has been an idol. And I don't want anything to come before Jesus. I want him to be on the throne of my heart. Nothing else. I don't want anything to take over my mind. And you shouldn't want anything to take over your mind either. Besides God. We need to obey our thoughts to Christ. So, I pray that this is of some value. And you just get this under control, guys. Because at one point, people aren't going to be able to get out. And that is going to be very, very, very unfortunate. So, I know I ended that video on a very bad note, but let me try and get it on a good note. You do not need social media. There's a whole world out here that God created. And there are so many things that we can do without sharing it with the world, but just because we want to do it. Just because it's a hobby. We don't need to share about it. So, yeah, there might have been so much more that I wanted to share, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. Blessings to everyone. I know I haven't been on here much. If you do have a pornography addiction, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, make sure to go backwards on my channel and look at all the rest of those videos. I've got a huge selection of people who have gone through pornography addictions and what they did to get out of it. And I've also gone through some alcohol addiction as well that I have tried to get out of. There's been drug addiction as well. I think my mind has just been very functioned on addiction in general. And the Lord has completely just been like, we need to lay all this stuff down because it's not good for you. Yeah, he's just bringing awareness to all the spots that have been dark for me. I'm glad he's shining light. So, all right, enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Bye.